had printing errors on it, and they weren't that bad. And I just let
Okay.
Vixen know, and he goes, "We're going to send you another copy." I'm like, "No, no, no, I can't really." But I just wanted to let them know in case they got any other complaints. And they're like, "Nope, nope, we're sending you another copy." So I've got two. Let me know
Just
if
to
you
let you
want
know,
one.
Heather.
Huh?
Just to let you know, honey. We're
Oh, we're
live.
live. You, Ramon, we're
Already?
live.
I wasn't even
Yeah.
here.
I know.
I
I
know. I
called
was
you like
messing
you were
with Heather.
backstage. Oh, you're gonna get it.
Mwah. Hi, everybody. It's Bobby.
Hi,
Thank you for
everyone.
joining us. There is really no special thing for tonight. We are just BSing about tarot. And tonight, the main topic that we're going to start off with is tarot AI. For those of you who didn't catch it on Ramon's channel, Scarab, who I am joined by today, Ramon, Scarab.
Thank you
Say
for
hello.
having me.
And then
Hello,
we
thank you
also
for having me. I'm
Heather.
honored to be here. I always enjoy spending time with you both. And we're going to be talking about AI decks. We just came up
Yep,
with
we
that
just
like
found
2
out.
minutes ago. Like 2 minutes ago.
Literally.
Heather's got her
Mhm.
decks with her.
I'm gonna have to go grab my AI deck, but it's my favorite, one of my favorites. It's called the
I
Lost
was
Soul
actually
Tarot deck.
I was
Lost
looking
Souls.
for one because I have one or two, if you excuse me.
Heather, while Ramon and I go dig out our cards, why don't you show your AI deck to everybody?
Sure. So I have three. The first one that I got, I didn't realize it was an AI deck until afterwards, but um, it's not a big deal to me. I have seen, really, there's a lot of mass market.
What?
There we go. Um,
There
and
you
again, Bobby, thank you for inviting me. I'm honored. So I noticed, especially on Etsy, there are a lot of like mass-produced AI decks, and for me, is AI spiritually a bad thing? No, but for me, when you can kind of tell when people just make them just to make as many as they can to make money. For the decks, for me, I totally resonated because I knew the backstory, or I knew more about the history of the decks themselves. The two that I have is and Ramon actually joined me along with Jeff, Tarot Ass Backwards, Amanda, Tropical Empress and Spirit, and Bill, 999 ASMR Tarot. Um, we all got together and did a show to talk about the tarot. This deck here is called the Artist Decoded Tarot, and we had a discussion about it. And it was a wonderful discussion. So that's on my channel, and I think Ramon has it listed on his as well. And the artist who created this deck is actually a graphic physical artist who used some of his artwork, worked with an AI engine, and went ahead and created the artwork for the deck, and worked with so Jennifer Sodini, she is the author, and Yoshino is the artist. And it's an incredible deck. This is, if you are an artist or an inspiring artist, what is it amazing about this deck is, I'll just, because this is where I open up to. So this would be like the Magician, and they include the Tree of Life, or the Kabbalah. They include astrology. They also, let me move over this way here. At the very end, besides the upright, reverse, all the traditional that you would get with a card, they also have something called Imagine. And what is phenomenal about this deck and this book, and I am not endorsed by the artist or the writer. This is all my own personal opinion. What the author and the artist created was prompts for people to explore their creativity. They have included prompts to explore artists, art genres, movies, screenplays, you name it, and they want you to use those imagines, those prompts, to develop your own and create your own piece of art, whether painting, a writing, a poem, a visual, a video, sculpture, whatever it is. Like with the magician, for them, the imagine is draw a circuit board, a microchip, a map, or a maze that creatively represents your pathways of desire or the landscape of your imagination. Need inspiration? Consider the works of M.C. Escher, Damian Gilly, or Sean C. Jackson. So this is what kind of deck this is, and I absolutely love it, and I can get behind it. A lot of the artwork, I'm an artist myself. I have a BFA in fine arts painting from Buffalo State College, and I'm an abstract artist. I'm an intuitive artist, and a lot of the work is reminiscent of my color palettes and how I used to love to create when I was younger and in college, and still do when I can. So I really highly recommend this deck. And just really quick, because I think I'm the only one that has this one currently, the Ethereal deck
Oh,
is
that's the
created by
one.
Vixen. And Vixen, if you go to his website, ethereal.com, he has a semi autographical book about his life living on the streets. He was a sex worker, and that's how he survived and made his living. And at one point, I don't have the book, so I don't know the full extent, but he came across spirituality. He got into practicing, I believe it's witchcraft. He's Wiccan, possibly. I'm not quite sure, but he became a part of the pagan community. Let's just use it as a general umbrella. And he wanted to create a deck that kind of reflected his life and showed the importance of how a shadow can help show our own inner light. And this is like one of the cards. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. And he did work with an AI. He took his time. He created it. He is releasing a new one based on Alice in Wonderland. It looks phenomenal. But he also has a goddess one. And not just goddess, but, women in history, like one of the Medicis, Joan of Arc. So there's saints, goddesses. It's a really cool deck. I think it's called the Obsidian or Beyond the Obsidian Veil. But this is really a magnificent deck. It does deal with shadow work, so the images are going to be dark. But what's wonderful too with this deck is that they're great for paranormal readings. And when Ramon was just recently reading with Sasha and Ginger, I was using this deck and I was getting amazing results.
Okay,
With
speaking
oracles.
of that, Ramon, you coined a phrase, or at least a phrase I had never heard of before, which I'm swiping. I'm off that shit. I'm telling you now. Paranormal investigation.
Uh-huh.
That's Ginger's.
That's
That's
Ginger. Yeah.
That's Ginger's
swiping
creation.
that. That's awesome. I'm having that. I mean, I heard that. That was like awesome. What a great word.
Paranormal.
And
Yes.
on my channel, I call it Para Oracle.
Para Oracle.
Thank you.
Ooh, look at you guys.
And
I
it's
love
it's
this.
such a fun way to use tarot, to
Yeah.
explore all these topics. And like the readings we get are amazing. I mean, and it's a fascinating way to explore alternate routes to a topic, in the
When you
paranormal
were doing
sense.
that investigation, and Heather and I were watching with the crowd. Speaking of, we've got a few people watching. We were drawing cards along
Cards
with
too.
everybody,
Mm-hmm.
and
fun.
it's such a fun thing to do. I'm into
It
it. I'm like, anytime that
is.
happens, let me know. I had such
Mhm.
fun doing it, but my sister was in town, and I couldn't really stick around.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was such fun to see Sasha Graham. I was like,
I got to hang out with Sasha Graham too.
The Sasha Graham. I didn't know until the last minute.
No, and I know that she
That
did
was-
movies because anytime I get a new deck, I wanted
Mhm.
because at the Behind the Card series I do, I look up the artists and the authors and see who they are, what their story is, and
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and when I saw her and she was talking about it, I'm sitting here and jumping around the living room going, I know that. It was so much fun.
I actually met her through Jackie's Crystal Moon because Jackie and I use her deck as one of our main decks for when we do our cold case readings and stuff, investigations. Her cards come in very handy. And when Jackie reached out to her and say, would you like to be a guest and join Heather and I? We use your cards for investigating true crime. And she was like, "Oh my God, that's so cool." So I got to meet Sasha Graham that way, and just down to earth, just a
Hmm.
She seems
wonderful,
wonderful.
you
She's
know.
really cool. Actually, the
She
first time I
is.
saw the deck was through you, Heather,
Mm,
and yeah.
she's a
But
very
Dark.
cool deck.
I went with a Ghost Tarot. But after that show, I really want to get it. I was kicking myself not by not having it, but
I was using
next
my
time.
Day of the Dead deck with it.
Hmm. You can
Myself and
use
my
any
Yes.
deck, really.
yeah, any deck.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But we've got a few people. I know Ramon, you got people on your channel watching. Maru's watching here. Hi, Maru.
Hi,
Taro.
Maruta's
Miss
here.
Maru.
Yeah,
Maruta.
I don't have my phone. Let me see.
We got Taro Yoe and Maru watching on my channel.
Hey,
Who you got on your side?
Thomas.
Poor baby's tired. You've been working a lot, huh? You've been
Yeah.
busy.
He's busy.
Yes, I'm always busy, but I always enjoy sharing with the community. And this was a nice surprise, and especially for this topic. It's a very
AI
interesting one.
books.
Yes, I think that people are opening more to the idea of AI, um, the involvement of AI in the generation of the images at this point, because in reality, you're not just typing words and a computer just popping out an image, and that's how you put it on a card. It's a lot of people are using it as a base, and then they work on top of that with Photoshop, with collage, different interpretations,
Mm-hmm.
or working. So there's an element of work from the artist on the cards. They just use the imagery as a base, to as a foundation. You know, I don't see anything wrong with it. Um, I see it as just another artistic technique,
I see it
because
Mm-hmm.
as
there
another
is.
artistic technique. I see it as a possible danger in some people's eyes.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Or
There's a
we
good and
all
bad.
have artist friends in the tarot
Hmm.
community, and
Hmm.
if people start relying on AI tarot decks, what does that do to the live artists like Chris Butler and Sasha Graham? Or
I think if anything, it's gonna elevate
Mm-hmm.
how we see the artist, because there's going to be then a different value of AI versus was done through by artist hands, by a real person. It'll elevate it
I don't
rather
think there'll ever
than.
be not a market for actual physical art,
Hmm.
because there's going to be people who want to actually have something physical and tangible created by somebody. And I know right
Yeah.
now, being an artist,
right.
the art field is very saturated, so it's really hard to be able to sell, these days. So I think there will be for quite some time to come a market for both.
Yeah, there's going to be a
And
niche, and
mm-hmm,
it's going to be a big
niche.
one. It'll be like artisan, like an artisan cheese made by a farmer in
Yeah,
his little cottage,
that's a clever
Mm-hmm.
way of
versus the mass
putting it.
produced. So
Yeah.
I think it's going to elevate it and make it much more
Here's
valuable, but not
another
not
element.
not just in terms of money, but in terms of appreciating it.
Here's another element as far as that goes. The element of air, swords, it's all about the mind and thought.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's also the realm of Mercury, who has sway over computers, believe it or not, because of the
Hmm.
information highway.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So it could be said that if utilized properly, it could be a tool for magic. You know?
Yeah, and that came up in the show I just had with Lisa. She was
Yeah.
sharing the experience of someone who was using AI in divination, and that person shared that she found a lot of healing in the messages that she was getting through AI. And I found it interesting, because if you think about it, what's AI doing is when you interact with AI, you're tapping into a data bank of knowledge, that is uh, information in the virtual sense, That's what we're doing also when we're doing divination, right? We're tapping into a data bank of
Exactly.
experiences and knowledge in the divine
Mhm.
realm. So
And AI is just
this is
another way to reach that.
Another
yeah,
tool.
it's more
Mhm.
yeah, it's like a digital version of something that's up there. It's like uh, the analogy of the cave by Plato. I don't know if you ever heard of that, but
Mm-mm.
uh, uh, so there was an example of, just imagine that these, I'm just going to very simplify it as much as possible, but imagine people who've been in a cave tied up at chain, right? And the only way that they see the world is through shadows projected on the wall. They go much more in detail of that. So they see like a shadow of a horse passing by, and they associate that shadow with what a horse is. But in reality, a horse is something different. So the whole idea is that in the higher realms, in the divine realm, there is the perfect thing, or the perfect version of things that we have here on the earth, right? And what we have here, what's tangible to us, are just shadows of something that's better up there. And I'll put the
Interesting.
example, and I'll put the
It
example of
is.
a chair, right? And this is just me thinking. Think about a chair in the Middle Ages, right? It was like very basic. Uh, it was just functional, right? Over time, it's become ergonomical, much more comfortable for your back, for your
Fun.
hands, etc. Yeah, much more functional. There's chairs that vibrate. So every time the idea or the concept of a chair, like, it gets finesse to a point that it achieves
Hmm.
almost perfection, but it's never going to be that, because the perfect chair is in another realm. These are just
Right.
shadows of.
And it's
I
another
see
So
what you're
interest.
saying.
Oh, because I
yeah.
was just going to say too, because in the turn of the century, when Alfred Stieglitz started calling photography a form of fine art, remember back then the camera, oh, how dare you? You're just capturing a quick image of time in the place. How dare you call that art? How can you call that art? And so for me, it's very similar, to what we're talking about with AI. It's another form of creating art. Back then, photography is like we would be. I mean, it's a major form of fine arts, and it's a incredible way of for a person to express the way they see the world through a lens. I have a cousin who's a photographer, and it's just amazing how everything that we kind of in the beginning was just all negative. Well, that's not real art. That isn't. I think it's just a continuation of moving into another form of a different
Mhm.
art form. Excuse me.
Hmm.
So what once was the photo, the camera. Ooh, that's not art now. AI. Ooh, that's not art. It's just another form of self-expression.
Yeah. And the idea that I was trying to express is,
Art
maybe,
is subjective.
yeah, this is just a shadow of something that's better up there. It's what we consider art. We get closer to, through different tools, to something that is greater. I don't know.
Other
Maybe I'm not
dimension.
making
Yeah.
sense. Maybe I'm just sleepy. I'm not making sense. But
No, I
Well,
um,
that's the
understand.
problem with what we do. Very few of us make sense. um, tarot is a tool.
mhm,
Yeah.
Tarot is a tool that can be used for magic. It can be used for learning, discovery. It can be used for a variety of things, as we all know. AI is a tool. And I
Hmm.
guarantee as time goes by, which is spiritualists, we are going to master it as a tool for magic,
Hmm.
mhm,
spirituality, learning. It is a tool of information.
mhm.
Hmm.
And that ties directly to Mercury and Hermes, who is the Lord that I follow. Um, we're in a time right now outside of the retrograde I speak of, where there's a spiritual revolution happening around the world. And
Hmm.
one of the most interesting curses I've ever heard in my life was "May you live in interesting times." It sounds polite, but it's actually meant to be a curse because it
Ooh,
means shit's always popping up.
you're freezing.
Oh no!
But I didn't know that.
I knew it. The
Maybe
man's
live in
onto
interesting
us.
times. I didn't know that was a curse. So you learn something new
It's a
every day.
curse. It's yeah. My point
Everything has
was
two sides
AI
to it. Yeah.
is going to be used in every way possible. Everything has two sides.
AI
It's positive
is
and a
being
negative.
used. Everything is being
Everything.
used right now. I mean, it's where do you think the suggestions from movies on Netflix come from? You know, you watch a movie and
Yeah.
it's AI.
Good point.
It's AI based. We see it like I was reading the other day. Taco Bell is going to incorporate AI in being able to generate menus, to make suggestions. Their technology. You see in the medical field,
Mhm.
iPhone. They're going to incorporate AI technology. It's like already here.
Well, some of it is scary because with everything, when you have a tool that's used for good, you know that there, unfortunately, there's
AI
going
is
to be
onto
used
us,
for bad.
guys.
And I think that's where a
Mhm.
lot of people are focusing on a lot is the negative things that it can be used for. But when you kind of look at the positive, try to get out
Are
of
you guys
that
having trouble with your
state of
screens, or is it
fear.
just me?
Just you.
It's you.
It's you, Bobby.
Hmm.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Row. So, because I know that we watch a lot of
We
videos
took over the show.
on YouTube,
We already
and
got rid of him. Now it's your turn, and I'll take over.
don't you? So there he is. He's
You're
back.
not
Because there's a lot of
getting rid of me that easily.
because there are a lot of documentaries that show how AI is being used in a bad way, and that's very scary. And but then when Shannon and I watch these, I remind him though, if it's even though it might be being used for something that's bad, think of people who may be able to walk that have never been able to walk or hear or see. And so again, it's that balance,
Hmm.
just like anything, that you use. So to a
Yeah,
certain degree, it
it's
scares
being
me. I
used
will
right
be
now
honest.
I
The things that
use
I
because
know
it's
that
AI
it can be
new.
used for.
occasionally.
Hmm.
It it's new, and it's a technology that was starting to, I mean, incorporate in our lives, and it is scary.
And
It's scary,
government,
but it's
what they use,
yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
military, government, kind of like things that go on during in the dark web and stuff that people don't want to talk about. But it's
Hmm.
good to be able to have that open conversation and say yes, these are the things that could be done in a harmful way, but we also need to look at the things in a positive light as well. So
Hello,
hi,
Miss
Miss Moonlight.
Moonlight. I think it's AI got, especially with AI in art,
I
got a
use
bad
AI
rep.
occasionally.
Huh?
Hmm?
What did you say, Bobby?
Well, I was saying
Uh-oh.
I use AI occasionally when I'm having trouble with classes.
Uh-huh.
I've used it to start organizing classes. I'm having trouble
Mm-hmm.
um, with my computer. I've put in parameters on what I need for ideas for classes. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't give you the actual class, and I don't want it to because there's no human touch involved. It,
Right.
it can be used. I do use it for the main talking points, though, and then I
Mm-hmm.
dig those out and I dissect them and I go into it. Um,
Mm.
like is positive and negative to everything. There's balance. And when we first sat down, I was pulled out my AI deck, the Red Fairy deck. Uh, believe it or not, it's called Red Fairy. It's a beautiful deck, Heather. Can you see this magician card? Check this out.
I don't know, you're pixelated, so I don't know how well I'm going to be able to see it, but the magician.
Oh no, am I having trouble
Oh,
again? Anyway, beautiful deck.
I can see some of
But I
it.
don't use
I can
it
see some.
because
It looks
it
really
feels
nice.
very. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if everything's all wonky with the
It's not your fault.
broadcast.
It's not your
Um,
fault.
It's happened to the best of us.
Mm-hmm.
The some AI decks are so gorgeous. I can't stop. I keep playing with them all night long, and I'm just staring at them. But
Yeah.
some AI decks, I'm like, why would they even bother putting these out? They're just
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've seen beautiful
cheap
ones on
trash would
Etsy.
come right down to
Yes.
it.
There's a lot of
But
beautiful
the
ones.
Red
There's
Fairy deck
other
is a good
ones.
AI deck.
Yeah. There's some of them that are made just to try to make a buck.
Yeah, that's what I was
But
saying.
yeah,
I
you'll
can't
see
see
some
it.
of them with issues with fingers. So like a hand with 6 fingers or 8 fingers, or
Yeah,
the fingers look
they
really
said that
weird.
there's some engines that are getting better at that. But there's
Yeah.
a
Or
beautiful
eyes.
surrealist one on Etsy that I fell in love with. Surrealist and Renaissance. Renaissance surrealist. Some of the fingers are a little off, but the colors, the artwork is just gorgeous. But I'm like, no, not going to pay $65, $70 for it. No,
Mm-hmm.
can't do that right now.
Yeah. Yeah,
There's
and,
a
and
lot of
and
them.
the issue with some of these algorithms, like they're able to make hands, but they don't understand the functionality of a hand like we do. So we see them odd, even though they
Hmm.
have fingers. But it's getting refined. So that's where a lot of artists come in, and they retouch it and try to make it better. I want to show you one that I have, and it's called the Delusion Tarot. I got this from a vendor
Ooh,
in Turkey, and the images are
Ooh.
beautiful. Let me
turkey.
show you.
Ooh.
That's the
You
full.
you
How
tread setter
beautiful.
you.
Oh, that is
Look
pretty.
at her. That is pretty.
Yeah, the
I
full.
like
The
the secret better.
magician. The
Yeah, my
Miss
magician.
Moonlight
magicians
says
have
she
no
has the Red
face.
Fairy deck too.
I'll have to look it up after the show.
Yeah, the high priestess. I like that sense of like
Yes.
fantasy, and it's
If
very
I don't have
airy.
a
Look at this chariot. I love this one.
AI, does remind me of Julie Bell and Boris Vallejo,
Ooh,
two artists that I
Shan
love.
likes Viejo Young. I mean, look at this,
Mhm.
Ramon. Look at this fool.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And I love how the staff is like pulling that cloud away almost to reveal them
Hmm.
further ahead, going through a gateway or a portal. It's just really
Yeah,
cool how we can, you know.
I'm clear on your love for that deck, Heather.
I mean, there are some images
It
that
is
I do find disturbing that,
there.
you know,
There, I
but
actually was gonna get that deck. I don't know why I didn't. I don't know
I
if
mean,
there
like
was a.
this is the devil.
That's a beautiful
Mm,
devil. I like that devil.
mm, yeah, it's a bit scary, but yeah, it's not for the faint of heart. The King of Pentacles, they're all very kind of. That's why this deck is really good for like paranormal because that's something you might catch in a during a paranormal investigation. You take a picture, like, oh my god, where
And
the
it's
hell did that come
spooky.
from? Yeah, and the hair font, which is
Oh,
interesting. I
speaking
want
of
to share
paranormal
something.
investigations, I
Yeah.
was before you do that, I want to tell Ramon, Heather and I were talking about there's hauntings at the fort down here where I live, and
Hmm.
I'm talking to a reporter. What's tomorrow? On
No, it's
Thursday,
Thursday.
and
Thursday.
getting the notes from her. She also happens to be a medium and a tarot card reader, so I'm going to
Hmm.
have her on my channel. And when I do, I want you both to be a part of it, and Nancy too. I already talked to Nancy, so
Nice.
this is going to
Uh-huh.
be fun.
And I know that
What's
I
the
was
fort's
talking
name?
For
What's
Huachuca,
Huachuca?
Huachuca.
H
Huach-
Huachuca. Huacha.
Okay.
Ginger
Huachuca.
expressed interest
Yeah.
too in joining us for that as well. So that's
Mhm.
something that can maybe talk about backstage.
I'm in.
She's like, I want to be a part
Let's
of that.
gangbang
I'm
this.
like,
All right.
it'll be
So
one
you were
big
saying what?
party. Yeah.
Oh, that's what she was saying because she sent me an email and she said, "How come I wasn't invited?" And I was like, "This is new to me. I don't know what you're talking about."
It's just she got to you before, or you got to, happened before I got to her. So
This
Heather, you were saying
Fort
what? I didn't
Fort
mean to cut you off.
Huachuca.
Oh yeah.
Is that
That's
what it
the
is?
one. I live across the street from it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
I'm forced to watch army men jogging by all day. I hate it.
So, what's going
So,
on at the fort?
Miss
What's
Heather,
happening?
you were saying what about before
You
there's
broke off.
ghosts. I don't know exactly where or what yet. There's I believe a little girl and a couple other ghosts, but I don't want to say too much now. I'm getting the lowdown from her. She's a reporter friend of mine and also a medium and a tarot card reader. So this will be her first live that we're Maruta, Lucky Bobby.
I may very well pull some cards.
This will
ahead
be
of
her
time
first
before I
live, and
have any to me information.
Hmm.
Yeah. Sometimes it's good to pull cards without too much information.
Yeah,
To see kind of like where, if anything comes up, and that's what, Jackie and I would do with our true crime, and stuff. Let's just pull some cards before we get too much information. And Allison too, she likes to have no
Right.
real clue of, too much details until the day of, the reading. And then as we're pulling cards, then she'll be like, okay, this is what, So yeah, we all read differently. This will be interesting. I like it.
Yes.
No, I see. Honestly, when I was watching that show, it was the best. That was the best show that I've seen. I think we're
Which
on a
one?
timing issue because when you too, because we're all freezing up on my screen at different points, and I'm thinking it's causing an issue because my visuals go black. We all three disappear, and I'm like, oh gosh,
I can see
we'll be cut
Ramon
off.
very clearly.
Yes. We're on the
That's why
East
I'm
Coast, so
wondering if,
from your point, we're in the future. To us, you're in the
Yeah.
past.
Ooh, you're talking to the future, Bobby. Ooh. Ramon and I are
that's
the future of tarot.
awesome.
Yes, we're the ghosts from the future.
Ooh.
About
So,
AI, there's that movie coming out called Afraid. Did you see the commercial for that yet?
No, we don't have regular cable, so
It's
it's called
your-
Afraid.
When your AI decides to become overprotective of you and starts dismissing
That's a
or
possibility that
called?
can
with
happen.
the threats.
what was it called?
It's called Afraid. It's called Afraid, and the Afraid AID. It's capital AI. It's really clever idea. I just dropped all my cards. Hold on. Let's see what came flying out, shall we? Because we were talking about the ghost of the fort and the little kid. We got the Fool. Page of Swords. Okay. An Ace. I'm catching a theme here, you guys.
They're very intense cards.
The Moon and Judgment.
So let me show you another. Can I show you another deck? So from the same people who did
Absolutely
from the same people who did this one, the Delusion art. They're actually called Lunart Design. They have this one called the Shade Tarot, and I like this one a lot because it's monochrome. It's all black and white, and the images are just beautiful. Let me show you for example.
That would probably go really well with your ghostly Lenormand that you have.
Right? Yeah. 10 of Wands.
That's pretty.
And look at the back of the card.
Ooh.
I do like that.
I love eyes. I love designs of eyes and hands.
And what's that one called?
Page of Wands. Look how gorgeous that's it.
Oh my goodness, that would be great for a
Yeah.
paranormal reading.
It's called Shade Tarot by
Shade.
Lunart Design.
And that's on Etsy, Ramon?
Etsy, yeah. I got
Okay.
it at Etsy. Hmm. And they're from
Go down a
Turkey.
rabbit hole on Etsy.
Oh, no.
Dude. I don't have any friends in
I'm
Turkey
moving
yet.
next year.
Let me show you. Let me see if I can find. Look
Oh,
at this
collection.
magician.
Oh, wow. That is very cool. Bobby, check that out. That was beautiful. Pull this one out, see if I can find.
Yeah, I'm
Look at this emperor. I love this.
That is a beautiful deck, Ramon.
and that's an AI deck?
Right. Yes.
This is a He-Man from the Artist Decoded.
You said that was an AI deck, Ramon.
Mm-hmm.
I want it.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I mean, I love it.
See it, I
Hashtag
like, I want
Ramon.
it.
The chariot. Look at that wheel.
Hashtag Ramon.
Huh?
I love the moon card in the Artist Decoded.
I'll have it by the end of the
I
week.
love that.
The star, the moon.
You
Look
see
at the
this
lovers
red
in this
fairy
deck,
deck. I'll tell you what it is. I don't like decks that look too human-y, like portrait-y, like this. I don't like it. It's not my
Me
style.
neither. No, me neither. A lot of decks are like that, especially with the core cards. They just show you like a portrait. I like
Yeah.
the whole scene in the background because it adds to story, right?
Look at that Page of Swords. It's like a samurai. I like that one.
Like a ninja.
Pentacles.
The world is the world
Oh,
card
here's
in
my-
this. I mean, I love all of the major arcana in this deck.
See if I can do this without shaking. There
Which
we
one
go.
is
There's
that,
my
Bobby?
world card.
Oh, we pulled her. Yeah,
This is
pulled
the
it
red
at
fairy
the same time.
tarot.
That's beautiful.
This is one of the reasons I wanted the deck, because whatever card
This
was
is my
on
world.
the advertisement.
That's
This
your
is my
world.
world.
Ooh,
I love that
that's
deck.
stunning.
I almost bought the Abyss Tarot today. That's what it reminds me of. The Dark
And the High Priestess. I love the High Priestess. And and things like this too with AI, it's for people who want to be creative, but they may not. For me, you can do a lot of things with digital art and AI art that technically, as an artist, I'm not capable of doing. And so this allows for people who are already an artist to see where they can take their art further. And for people who want to be able to express themselves, but may not feel like they can do it with artistic
YouTube
materials,
artists.
and this would open them up and they would be able to create things too of their own. So again, it's
Totally.
that fine line. So
yes,
express yourself.
Yeah, it allows people who don't have
you two are
maybe
honest gosh artists.
We all are. Everybody
Heather
is.
show. Yeah, because art is really, it's a human expression. Like even like the way
I've seen Ramon's art online. I haven't seen anything here.
Oh yeah, she showed me today.
I'm a maker. I can make things.
Blue water. Water.
It was like a woman sleeping, watercolor, and Ramon's like, "I see a woman." I'm like,
she saw something different. She saw something different initially. I said, "Well, that looks like X or Y doing this," and then she was like, "Oh my god, I see it."
That's what's so cool is everybody sees something different. That's what's with tarot decks, and I have to agree with Lisa Pepez. I am not a fan. I mean, I can appreciate what I don't want to forget her name. Pamela did for the art, to bring out the traditional or the original tarot. But I am not a fan at all of her colors and the art and stuff on the deck. And so for me,
Pamela?
I like
Pamela?
Yeah, Pamela Coleman's the one that did the
Yes, I know who Pamela is.
Yeah. Yeah,
that is so sacrilegious to me when people talk that way.
well, for me,
I know,
I
I
understand the
know,
As soon
I
symbolism,
as she
get
and
it.
said it, I was like, oh.
Ramon knows,
Me
like,
too.
I don't
Well, I'm
be
not
who I'm
crazy
not.
about it either, Heather.
I appreciate
I'm
and I
not
learn a lot
crazy
about
about
the
it either.
symbolism.
That's why I used,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
the Heaven
Sorry,
and Earth Tarot. That's why I use it.
I have
It's
that.
remarkably similar to the Rider Waite Smith deck, but it's
That's
more
this. Yeah,
passionate, more lusty, more. Yeah, there it
Hmm.
is.
yeah. I use this for
It's my go-to
investigative tarots.
deck, honestly.
Because for me, I'm able to look at this and
Yeah,
connect more and
because
pick
it's
up
got
more and intuit more than her artwork. So for me,
Hmm.
I like how other people, and there are some tarot decks that I'm just like, ooh, but some people can do incredible readings with them. So we're all
Yeah.
different energetically in how we visually see and pick up on things.
Let me let me say
What is the
something.
worst decks for you two to work with?
Worst decks.
In our
Mm,
collection,
I was saying, what is the worst decks for you two to work with? Well, type
mm.
of decks.
Uh,
Like any
to
deck that
me,
has a cutesy witch with a pointed hat and little stripy socks, I don't like it.
you're
oh,
talking
Ramon
in
doesn't
you're talking in terms of like artistically,
like the genre of art
the
that's
genre.
represented.
I don't like
Yeah.
fairies.
Fairies.
I can't stand fairies or
I have a
enchanted
beautiful.
forest or
I
anything
have
like
those
that.
decks.
That's oh my god, no. Anything that's too like fantasy, no. It doesn't resonate with me.
But you like futuristic, and some of that turns me off.
Yes,
But
like high
we're all
tech
different.
futuristic, which a lot of people don't like. I mean, I'm not
I'm more
criticizing
nature
it.
based. Mm-hmm.
I'm not criticizing dragons. I don't like dragons. I don't like.
Marmaduke, close your ears. He doesn't like.
Me either.
That's
I
Marmaduke.
don't. Yeah, Robin Hood
You didn't hear
type of
that.
decks. I don't like. Like today, I went
Me,
to
it's the art.
Barnes and Nobles, and they have a big section of tarot decks and oracles, and I couldn't pick one that I really liked. I only saw one and I already had it, but like there's so many decks out there, and artistically they're beautiful. I mean, they're amazing, and I appreciate uh,
Mm-hmm.
the effort that the artists make and their technique. I like them 100% artistically, but in terms of ones that resonate with me, it's very picky. I'm very picky with decks, and things like even like the fonts can throw me off.
Oh my God. When it comes to thumbnails, I've done thumbnails, and Ramon's
Exactly.
like, I don't like the font. Can you change the font
Hmm.
on our thumbnail? I'm like, oh, good Lord. Yes, I will
Yeah, because
change the font, Ramon.
yeah, because I feel that the
This
font is part of the graphic representation. Like it
I
has
love
everything has to
colorful
be
fonts.
cohesive.
Mm.
Hmm. Yeah. So
this
so
deck, the Red Fairy deck, has writing on the border. I hate that. I hate that every time I
Hmm.
see it. That's why I can't use these cards in a reading. I basically have them in case I want to use them for art, like make
I
a
have oracle
craft out of
decks
them or
like that.
something. They're on death's row basically.
Dex
yeah.
row. They're on Dex row. It's on death
Dex
row.
row.
They're on Dex row.
Yes.
But in terms of genre, I go from medieval all the way to futuristic. There's not like I like a lot of medieval stuff, but not medieval like Robin Hood type. More like gothic medieval. That type of like
Hmm.
artistic expression. And yeah, and everything in between. But I've seen the medieval ones that don't resonate with me, futuristic ones that don't.
What deck
So
is
it's
that?
like that's the Santa Muerte by Fabio Listrano.
Oh,
David.
okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, Allison's all about
I
the
will
Santa
interview
Muerte.
him one day. I will.
Yeah, I
The
have a
Penitence.
lot of like
That is my goal.
skeleton and skull related decks. I have them separate, like
I like
in its
animal
own.
skulls and bones. Humans,
I
Yeah.
not so much, but I'm getting
I
used to
need a
it.
black deck that has skeletons on it.
a black deck that has
I
skeletons.
need it for Halloween.
I think
need-
Allison
there's-
might have a deck. I'll have to ask her.
I can actually show you a few right now if you give me a
Of
minute.
course.
Oh, really? Oh, that's convenient. Let's
Anything
get
that
it.
you can
Go
think
for
of,
it.
Ramon's like, hey, I got it. You know, like there's an app for that. Ramon's like, oh, I
You
got
know,
a deck for that.
I love our community. It's awesome. And any questions I have, I can pick up the phone and text or call one of my friends
Mhm.
and get an answer. If I just want to talk tarot, I can pick up the phone and arrange a chat with somebody. I'm loving that more than you know. When life gets rough, it's times like these that I can look back on and smile.
Oh, you
Are
can't
you
see it.
looking
That's
back
one
and
of my
smiling?
paintings. But
Oh,
I do have a few
no, it's
videos and
dark.
pictures of my art
Um,
on my channel, on my community tab. But I'll share some. I'm very abstract. Not everybody likes abstract art. So,
Early Ritual
hey, Tom's
says
here!
Spooky
Yay!
Tarot by Ryan Caskey.
Oh, wait a minute. My
Yeah,
phone got dark.
there we go.
Hey, Tom.
Spooky Tarot by
Lady,
Ryan Caskey is a great
Yes.
Halloween theme.
Lady Frida was
Yeah,
a
because I
stronger
do
art
parties
than
at
Pamela.
Halloween, and I have the whole cloak.
I will agree with Tom on that.
Yeah. Okay.
Lady Frida was much a stronger artist than Pamela.
So when
Close your
you
ears,
were
Ramon.
saying so when
Agreed.
you were saying black or dark, you're talking in terms of color, right? The coloration, not in terms of
Yes, sir.
theme. Okay.
Coloration.
So I pulled
My
two.
goal is to have a red sheet,
A red what?
So
a red mat with a black deck on it for Halloween. When I
so let
hire
me
out
show
for
you this
parties.
one. This one might be more appealing to you because it has black and red. So it's called The Bones Arcana, and it's by an artist. He's in the United Kingdom, Junaid Mortimer.
What?
There's a counterfeit version of this
Junaid.
one out there, so be
Mm.
careful. They changed the box, so the box now it's a double box that opens. But the images, what I liked is that all the depictions that you see in the RWS, it has a skull or a skeleton version. It's very faithful to the spirit of the RWS. So you have, for example, here the full.
Dude, is this the deck I was after?
Might
Look
be.
at the back.
If this is the deck, Ramon,
The Magician.
That's 2 decks now, Bobby.
uh,
Ramon made me do it.
this is it, Heather. This is the deck I've been looking for.
And let me-
The deck I've been looking for all my life.
this is my favorite card, the Hierophant. Look how powerful the
No,
Hierophant
this is the specific deck.
Ooh, wow.
No,
It's so
That's
because
crazy
powerful.
the
art.
store that I shop at had sample cards, like bookmark cards, and they had a skeleton card that they gave me for a bookmark from a deck. And I asked him what deck, and they told me, and I forgot, and I lost the card in a book that I gave away. But that is the
Oh,
deck,
wow.
the specific deck with skeletons that I
Look at
want.
the Chariot.
That's the card
Ramon
was
came
from
through.
that deck.
Yes, and the backs are
And I
amazing.
love
Yeah, you
and the
did.
red and black. Wow.
Yeah, so all the images capture the spirit of the RWS, but it's so elegantly done. It's so beautifully done that I mean, I love this deck.
I like the design. Mhm.
Yeah, now I modified it a little bit because I edged it in black on the sides, and I
Ooh.
actually showed the artist
How do you
what
do
I did, and he loved it with a Sharpie, just with a
You want-
Sharpie.
You want to
I
say
just
hi?
put a Sharpie,
You know, Ramon,
but
I can guarantee you should do a video on it because a lot of people have asked me, and I'm like, I don't know. Go watch a YouTube video.
yeah, how to edge?
You should.
Yeah, you got to be careful because not
Yes.
all cards are good for edging. Sometimes they bleed and it could ruin the card, so it's risky. I think what happened was this used to be white, but it was like a very bright white. And one day I was shuffling it, and I stained the side, and I was so pissed. And that's when the idea came. Why don't you edge it? This is a great opportunity to, and it was perfect.
And
Yeah,
Tom said,
so
Ramon's going to never have
No,
me on
I
this channel for
agree.
dissing
I love
Pixie.
edge.
yes,
I'm the first up.
be careful. Be careful. No, I respect
Yeah.
everybody's
Yeah.
opinion on RWS, but I just remember.
We're
I
all
remember
teasing.
the first time I heard that. To me, it was like totally sacrilegious. But anyway, it's called the Tarot, the Bones Arcana.
I saw when she said it earlier on your channel tonight. Oh, thank you, Madam Maru.
Get it from
She put a
Etsy
link up for me
because
to find.
Oh, there you go.
is it on
Amazon.
Etsy?
Well, make sure that Amazon is not a counterfeit, because sometimes Amazon has companies that sell counterfeits too.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
Robin.
wouldn't get it from Amazon. Let me check the link.
If there is a QR code, then you know. If
Yeah.
Let me
it says
see. Yeah,
no
it's an
click.
Amazon link.
Well, I'm not saying Amazon sells all
yeah.
bootlegs, but I bought a bootleg.
When I do my unboxing
By
videos,
Oh no,
I
that's a
always-
different one. I have that one too, the Dark Side Skeleton Tarot. That one's really nice too. Actually, I should have pulled that one too. I had that deck. The other one I was gonna show you is it's from a company called Killstar, and they do clothing, and they came up with a tarot deck. Now this
Killstar.
deck is available in red
Clothing.
also. Yes, and the images are beautiful. The cards are really big. They're bigger than your standard tarot card,
no, thank you. It'd be hard for me
but
to
it's
shuffle.
but it's
That's
holographic.
beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know if you can appreciate it, but it's holographic.
I
It's
can.
what seems to be white. It's actually a hologram.
Oh, I
So
see.
look at that fool. Look at that sun.
My future's so bright. I
And
gotta
is
wear
it
shades.
a single color or is it iridescent?
Oh,
It's
that's
iridescent. That
Like
was
the
the word I was
hologram.
looking for. Yeah, it's
Iridescent.
iridescent. The Magician.
I like it.
Ow!
They're both cool.
Stop it.
The High Priestess.
Ooh, yeah, I like that.
I may be
The
getting
quality
two
is
skeleton
amazing.
decks.
Quality is amazing. Temperance. Let me see if I can pull another card.
Yeah, there's one thing that Frida will not be able to do. She does not have a Snuffles in her deck. She has the Snuffles. Yes, she does.
As
Oh,
far
look,
as
talking of Snuffles,
Lady
Queen of
Frida,
Wands.
There you go.
There's
There you
Snuffles
go,
right
Mozzie.
there.
There you
Oh
are.
no, you had to get me.
Look at that Queen of Wands. How beautiful.
No.
Yeah, and the box is
Did you name
amazing.
her Snuffles because of Snuffleupagus?
No, I Snuffle. When Pamela Coleman Smith drew the card of the Queen of Wands, she used originally it was supposed to be a leopard, but she used an actual cat, and it was the cat of her friend Edith Craig, and the cat's name was Snuffles, and it was a black cat, and that's the cat that was
Oh, I didn't know
immortalized.
the cat actually had a name.
Yes, it was a real cat.
Snuffles.
Yeah.
That's the one good thing I like about her
That's
deck.
awesome.
She's got Snuffles.
Yeah, that's the
Oh,
box.
wow.
So it's a beautiful deck. And that one that Maruta
Now-
pulled up, I have that one too, and it's a beautiful deck also. Let me see if I can find it.
See, I've never resonated with skulls or human skeletons and
Skeletons
stuff
are
until the Hush
beautiful.
Tarot. I love George O'Keeffe, and I love how she painted
They
bones,
can be scary.
and I fell in love with the animal bones and everything. I have those, but when it comes to human bones, I'm just like, until I saw the Hush Tarot that Allison got and Ginger has, and I
General
fell
public
in love
gets
with
kind of
it.
geeked out. Like,
And he all made it by hand, so
yeah,
it's the artist
I
and the
like
author.
skeletons. I think they're nifty. What is
So
this,
Tom says,
Maruta? She says, I have seen a Queen of Swords with a panther. It's very
mm-hmm.
effective. Really? Ooh,
I have
I
one that's
like
got like
it.
a
The
leopard.
QOS. I was like,
There's
think
one
like
like a
tarot. Think like
tiger.
tarot. Queen of Swords.
Mm-hmm. And so it's a back kitty, right? Yeah.
In the true black tarot, on the strength card, there's no lion. Or, I mean, where there should be a woman holding the mouth, it's just the
Mm-hmm.
lion with a hat on the ground. So he ate the man or the woman.
So
What you got,
Was,
Ramon?
was that intended, or is that just a joke? Because I think that's funny. I mean, and it could very well be. She didn't control that. They didn't were able to control their inner
Let me see if I can find
their inner wild animal. What? Why do you have to come on here and want attention now? All people do is see your fur.
Because they're beautiful babies.
And it's so weird because Tom, the minute you came in and said you were here, he came in and meowed. So Tom has a black cat too, named Grimly. And I was like, did Mozzie know Grimly was somewhere? Did you know Grimly was somewhere?
Associate.
So this is the card. This is the deck that Maruta pulled out, and it's called Dark Side Skeleton Tarot. And it's really beautiful. This one already it's already black. It came like that.
And I love the gildings now. Oh, the backs are gorgeous.
The backs are beautiful.
Sometimes I like the best thing about the cards are the backs.
What's really cool, it's very dense in terms of the details, but all the images it's pointillism. So it's like a lot of little dots. Look at that emperor from afar.
Yeah. I had to do that one year in high school, and I hated that thing.
That looks a lot like the Abyss Tarot, doesn't it?
For a minute, I was like, hey, kind of like Tarot of the Abyss. Yeah. I just don't resonate with that deck. A couple of cards
That's what I say, yeah.
Judgment.
For me, it's like a lot of just hit and miss.
I almost bought it today.
Almost every single card. Oh, you did? Oh, wow. Look at that. Yeah, he ate them.
See, it's good.
He's like, try to open my mouth.
I love this deck. It's the true deck. True black.
Yeah. Tom
if this deck was easier to shuffle, it would be my go-to deck.
Look, here's Snuffles again. Queen of Wands. Snuffles is right there.
Oh, skeleton Snuffles.
Oh my.
And she has the sunflower. So like all the elements of the RWS are here present in this deck.
And Tom says, at Robert, you want a beautiful skull deck? I recommend Mio Im's Tarot. I don't know Mio Im's Tarot, but it's a skull deck.
Mio Im's Tarot. I'm going to look it up, but I know that one.
I'll have
hey, Tom, that's going to be it. Tom made them do it. Hi, Sharon.
I'm going to blame Tom. I'll be like Tom said.
All right. Let me show you another one.
AI in general.
This was the first
that is going to help people.
This is the first skeleton related deck that I got, the Marigold Tarot. This one's been around for a couple years, and it's beautiful. I like it because, of course, I love skeletons and skulls, but marigold is my favorite flower also. And it's a flower that...
And I sent those flowers to you today.
Yes, I love...
Oh,
marigold
I know you loved marigolds, and I sent that to Ramon today to cheer him up.
They're my favorite flower, and
I didn't know
the
that.
flower... Yes, the flower of the dead.
I didn't know that too.
To the Aztecs.
That's why
you sent me flower. Yes, he said flowers for my friend, and she sent me a photo of a bunch of marigolds, and I said, and I replied, "Am I dead?" Thank you. Am I dead?
Now I know.
Ace of
wow!
Cups.
Look at that.
Yeah, they're exquisite. Two of Cups. And the gilding, look at the gilding, it's gold.
Yeah, I love gilding now. Oh, the backs are
Are they
beautiful.
difficult to shuffle?
No, they're not. Actually, no. Because they're playing card quality, so they're like they have like that linen uh
Oh yeah.
touch. Look at that. Look how powerful that one is.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So it has that blend of skull,
Impressive.
but also uh Indian influence. Because the artist, it's I can't remember the region of India she's from. So like the clothing is the traditional clothing of her region. And it combines marigold, and it's just a very interesting mix. Ten of Swords.
Yeah, Allison would like those.
I like
Mhm.
the right.
So
through the skull.
recently, after so many years, they came up with an oracle that pairs perfectly with this one, and it's called the Mirror Oracle. And it's an amazing. I think we went off topic. We were supposed to talk about AI decks.
And looking at my AI deck with the ethereal, like I said, it's for shadow work and it's dark,
We're
but
talking about whatever we
some
want.
of that's really beautiful to me. You know,
Oh, I love it.
it doesn't have a head, but you can still see the rib cage, and it's also like nature becomes a part. And I think that's one of the reasons why too I love the and I don't have it right near me, but the Hush Tarot, because it includes in what Jeremy does, it shows that there's a cycle of life. We can't escape death. And so the cards represent death and decay, but it also represents forms of life. And they show how they're all interconnected together. And with it being nature, and I love nature, it's just to me, it's that one deck with skulls and bones in it that does not bother me. I've just really grown to love it. I really. So that would be my favorite,
The Hush Tarot. I didn't.
The Hush Tarot by
know it had
Jeremy.
that in it.
Jeremy Hush, and he all did the cards all by himself. It's all
Interesting.
he's the artist. He used to be in a rock and punk band back in the days. He actually works and has a gallery not far from where Ramon said he is. He's in
Oh
Pittsburgh
yeah.
at the
Mhm.
Coventry or something like that. And
Mhm.
he, created this deck using natural pigments. Markers he would use his finger, ballpoint pen. The artwork is just beautiful. I just don't know where I have it right now because I'm moving next year and I'm moving things around and trying to pack this and move that, and so things kind of get lost in the shuffle. But I'll send you a couple pictures, Bobby. It's a beautiful deck. It really
I
is.
do have the Hush Tarot.
Oh, you do? Okay. He's like, do I have that?
Yeah. I had to check the YouTube content on my channel real quick to see if I did an unboxing video on it. I
You
did.
do
I do
you
love
got a
that
lot
deck.
of
I love the
unboxing.
back
Yeah.
of that deck.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like to do.
And with the
Because if I don't
ethereal,
like a
there's
deck and it doesn't resonate with me, I save it for somebody who it does resonate with and make a gift of it to encourage new readers.
Let me see if there's anything. Oh, and this Queen of Swords. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm going to be doing more paranormal readings and stuff and investigations on my channel.
That's
So
Jack
this deck is
Skellington.
going to be perfect. Huh? Mm-hmm. Very skeletal. But look at this Lover's card, though, in this deck.
that's Jack Skellington.
Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. So there's that disturbing dark, but then there's that beautiful light. And I mean, look at this moon card, because the moon always gets a bad rap. I love that moon card.
It's beautiful. I'm gonna invite him to In Orbit.
Oh, it's your
Chat with
cat.
him.
I was like,
Oh, this is my cat right
I was
here.
like, how did you get that border around your picture? It's your cat.
It's natural. No, if Miss Tarot D was here, she'd be saying, "Oh, that's Heather's," but I won't say the word here. Or Gerald would. Gerald did that one night with me.
Yeah, or both.
Yes, you would.
But it'll be interesting to invite Vixen to In Orbit. in chat.
I
You're
invited
also-
him to my channel to ask him if he wanted to discuss his deck, and he never responded. So I might have to ask him again and say, listen,
Hmm.
would you like to come to, I can introduce you to Ramon.
I'll be the bait.
Dangle. Vixen.
How you guys
But no.
doing
No, but
on
it'll
time? You okay?
be
Mhm.
it'll be interesting. Yeah, we're good. It'll be interesting to chat with him and deep dive into the ideas and the inspiration behind just from his words, from his
Get
mouth.
your butthole out of the. There we go. Okay. Sorry.
No, it'll be interesting to talk to
How many
Vixen
times
about
have I heard
this deck.
that?
Oh, Bobby, you're too much. But yeah, when I first when I first learned about this deck was through Elaine, Tarot Tats and Tea. And I was like,
Mhm.
oh my God, what is this deck? And then I went to realize he doesn't have a tarot channel. Well, he does, but he only does shorts and they're extremely funny. He uses music.
Yeah, I've
To
seen his
advertise his
shorts.
cards. And so
Mhm.
when I found him, I went right to Instagram, messaged him, and said, "Vixen, I have a YouTube channel. I love your ethereal tarot deck." I go, "Would you be interested in coming on my channel and discussing the deck?" And he added me to his email thing where he releases emails, but he never answered me. So I figured I'd give myself maybe a little bit more time to get more familiar
That's
with the
how I
deck
met Chris Butler and Ken Payne.
through Instagram. And
No,
so I'm
just
hoping.
calling them
So
out of the blue, cold
I'll
calling.
probably email him again and say, "Would you be interested? I have a lot of people interested in your deck that love it. Would you be interested in coming on?" So, coming back from my sabbatical, that's one. And my dream would be to have Jenna Della Vitalia come on my channel.
Arthur Wang
Arthur Wing for you.
and Cyril
I
Marchetti.
would love to have Claire Goodchild because I love all her decks, and Ciolo Thompson. She's the one who did the Lion Strider Tarot.
Oh yeah, those are nice.
Sounds familiar.
There's two decks that
Yes,
she does.
she has a lot of decks out there. I
But
love
the
her
Light Strider and
Lenormand.
another one are very similar. It's a very similar
Yeah,
artwork.
there's
I love
the kin. What's it called?
Other
Some
Kin.
the other kin, the other
Yeah.
kin,
Hmm.
which is beautiful also. But she put out a Lenormand a couple years ago. It's out of print now, and it's exquisite. And I use it a lot. It's just beautiful. I wonder if I have it around.
You know
You
who
know,
would
you
be the
see the
ultimate guest?
Lenormand deck the other day when we did a live, Ramon. That was the very first time I ever used it. The when you had to dip out. That was the very first time that I ever used Lenormand.
Really? How do you
Yeah.
like it?
It was actually pretty good. It was a lot easier to do single cards than I was expecting.
Mhm.
With Lenormand, it's all more about
There's not
combination.
there for me. Lenormand is so much easier because you don't have uprights, reversals. It's not fully loaded with a lot of. It's straightforward, but then like when Ramon and I did the one show with Jane, and we were talking about how we were all sharing how we can take what is represented in each of the cards, but also aside from that, a clover might be okay. Yeah, good luck, but for some people clover might bring back a memory or a sensation of something else. I can't,
Or what if you're allergic to clover?
if you're
Or I
doing
mean,
a reading and somebody might be buried by a thing of clover, or that might have been something that was a favorite, you know, um, flower, because clovers do have the little white parts of the flower on it. So that might have been something that your grandmother, so that might be your grandmother coming through saying, "This is me." So you associate, um,
I
some
associate
images
my
with them.
grandmother with a flower called brown-eyed Susans. You usually see them on the side of the road. They look like miniature
mm,
sunflowers.
mhm.
Um,
That's
that
mine.
was one of her favorite. Oh, you know Brown Eyed Susan. Okay. Oh, I see.
That's my
So
grandma right
it's
here.
Mm.
oh yeah,
Oh
she's
gosh, she's
beautiful.
beautiful.
Yep, she was. She was something else.
So this is the Scrying Ink Lenormand by Ciolo Thompson, and you will like this, Heather, because it has like watercolor elements.
Oh, yes.
So we have
I already want
mice,
that ghost. When Norman is like, I can't spend any more money.
Right. I just bought a deck. I bought a
garden.
used deck today. I bought my first used deck.
Oh,
I love used decks. I
Uh,
love used decks.
it was in the shop.
Very
that's
It's
pretty.
the Tarot of Gaia, or I believe it's called something like that. But somebody had returned it or something. There was an issue with it,
My
and no, and it was up there. And I said, "Well, how much?" And she says, "Well, it's already open." I said, "Yeah, I don't mind buying a used deck." And so she gave it to me half price. And the reason I wanted it is because it came with a book. And I love tarot books because they give you a different way of looking at everything. Each deck.
Yep,
Oh,
exactly.
Yeah, it gives you an insight into the mind of the artist when they were creating the imagery.
Heather, where'd you
Yes,
go? I don't see
had
your
to.
face.
I had to grab.
Oh, grab what? What do you grab?
Never mind. I was going to
So
make a joke, and I'm not going to. So this is a
I
Lenormand that I have. That I thought. I think I showed this to you, Ramon. It's called I think he calls it the Black Witch or the Dark Witch Tarot, but Lenormand. But I just call. So there's a couple different cards for cross, and then of course you do have some with the witchy hats. But there is one in here. It's my Maleficent because I love the movie Maleficent
Me too.
with
Angelina.
Angelina. My brain. Look at that one too for the cross.
that's beautiful.
Those are Lenormand cards. Yeah.
Yep,
Lenormand. Sorry.
from Etsy.
Lenormand. They're very
Lenormand.
glossy.
Chris does
Oh,
that to me
and
too.
oh my god, I love this to be able to have hair like that waking up every morning.
Mm.
Look at that hair.
Wait a year and a half. I'm going to have hair like that.
Give me long flowing hair. Remember the
1969 hair. I remember.
owls? But let me find the one that.
I think 70,
Oh, this is the whip.
79.
I just love this deck. Check out the birds. Look at that. That's like a Morgan.
She looks like a
Morgan
heartbeat.
represent. Yep, Morgan Harpy. But I want to, and there is one male in here. Yay! There's a man card. There's the wizard. Kind of looks like
Man, I
Mashan
like that.
almost. Let me
I
find.
noticed tarot, some decks
Okay.
try to exclude men completely. And other decks, I actually saw one try to
Here we
exclude
go.
women.
Check that out. To me, it's kind of like
Mm.
the Maleficent with her horns. I love that.
Yeah.
The coffin. One of my favorites.
It's very witchy. I like it.
It's the Dark Witch, and I like don't use the word dark, but look at the Sun card. Now, for me, this is a perfect example. When I do the Lenormand, here's the Sun card, and there's the basics for the Lenormand. But then I can also pick from tarot and some of the things from the tarot to go with the Sun card. So very similar. Yes, that's a beautiful deck. I've seen. That's been one of those rare ones.
It needed a home. I felt so bad for it.
The lily is beautiful too.
That's nice, and
There's
it
a
gives you the
couple of
playing
lilies.
card. It gives you the playing
Yes.
cards correspondence too.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get that deck.
And
I
the
had.
astrological sign
I'm a protector.
Mm.
and the child. There's two childs. They're both little blonde girls. And now here, to me, it would be like watch how you play with fire. So this is not necessarily mean just a child, but if you look at it, like, oh, she's got her hand near fire. Don't get burned. Don't let that.
To me,
You know
it
what I
would
mean?
be discovering new power.
It's different. Oh, and look at the moon card, because I think the moon gets a bad rap in the tarot, and so there's the
And which
moon.
deck is that, Heather?
This is called the Dark Witch or the Black Witch Lenormand. It's on Etsy. It was only like 20 something, but because of shipping, I had to pay another 15.
Yeah.
because he's in the Netherlands. But he has a whole bunch of different decks. But I'll send the link and look at the little mice. And he's got some extra ones in here too. He includes something with an egg in it. He includes one that has treasure. There's one with and here, this is a cool one too, hourglass, to add additional ones in there, to add layers, extra layers, just like the Marchetti does. He's got like 8 different extra cards, that are not part of the traditional
Yeah.
Lenormand.
I went and bought Tarot of Dreams again last week because when I first got it, I pulled the Palace cards out and the Tree of Life card. I pulled those 5 cards out and put them somewhere. No clue where they are. So I had to replace the deck because I can't have a broken deck. It just bothers my sense of.
It'll pop up one of these days.
Yeah.
Let me show you this. Let me show you this Lenormand deck that I got a few days ago. So what's interesting, it gives you the keywords.
I like that.
And it gives you the astrological correspondence. It gives you timing also. And it gives you the planetary,
and it's a yes or no, right?
Yes.
I'm in. Text me what that one is.
Clover.
I really gotta like the artwork though.
Yeah. Let me show you a few. Look at that ship.
That's why I like the
art
Shaman
snobby.
Wisdom Oracle cards, because it also has astrology in different aspects, like that deck you're showing.
House. And it's not just Lenormand, it's Lenormand and Oracle, so it goes beyond the 36 cards.
I got a deck that you would like. That's Lenormand. I think I've already showed Ramon. Hold on a second.
Clouds.
Where is the lunatic Lenormand? Where are you?
Coffin.
The
Here.
Lenormand deck, you guys, I gotta show you mine. It's so weird. Talk for a second. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go like
All
she
right.
did.
But let me show you beyond 36 because we know already what's on the 36 Lenormand card. So 37 is Lilith.
Oh wow. She almost reminds me of La Rona.
Right.
Did I pronounce it
30.
right?
Yes. La
It's
Llorona.
always La
La
Llorona.
Llorona.
La Rona.
Card 38 is Trumpet. And the keywords it gives you is victory, resurrection, awakening, decisiveness, inner calling, and forgiveness.
Trumpet, kind of like the Judgment card.
39 is
Major.
Dice.
Mm-hmm.
Card 40, Beast.
I've seen it.
Yeah, I have that one. The Malefic.
This one is awesome. And it's so
40.
Oh, I like the tunnel.
42, Devil. There is a devil here.
Ooh.
43, Photograph.
Photograph.
44, Hammer. And the last one, 45, is Snowflake.
Oh, I love the Snowflake. That's nice.
It's beautiful.
This
and it
deck
says
has a very Ed Hardy vibe to it. And it's just weird. I like it. The child card looks like one of those Addams Family kids.
Oh.
But it's got a very tattoo vibe, and I like it.
It does, yeah.
So, Bobby, this is my Lenormand. This is the lunatic Lenormand.
Okay.
And it's kind of based on Edgar Allan Poe. So we got the skulls. We've got that. It's got the old Victorian touch to it.
I can work with that.
Edgar Allan Poe is one of the male cards in here. I think one of these might be who his wife was. I'm not sure.
He was married? Really? I never knew that.
She died, and then he had a replacement wife, and I don't know a whole lot, but we did a reading once on. There's the Sun card, and check out this ring. It's got a skull on it. I showed you this, right, Ramon? This deck.
Yes, you did.
So there's a ring. So there's all but skulls on here.
See, but Heather, you seem to have the same taste in decks that I do, dark and twisted. Ramon, you had got a
It,
good
I like Victorian.
twisted collection yourself there.
Yeah, I have my own
I
twisted
love the key.
version.
The key is beautiful. I'm
If
all
we're
Victorian.
doing twisted decks,
I know don't do really twisted.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
beautiful.
the murder of crows.
Uh-huh.
Where's Edgar? Edgar, where are you? There's the cross. So it's anything, because I know I had past life at least once in Victorian era. So anything Victorian. So where did
To
Edgar
you guys, I have to ask
That's
you.
that's one era that I don't like, the Victorian.
I have to ask you
Index.
guys this question.
I know.
Do you have
Sorry.
decks that when you reach to pick them up, do you instantly get a different vibe?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
okay,
totally. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, all
This-
all decks have like their own personality.
I
That's
forget
why-
that every time
And there's the
until I
haunted
pick
house.
up this deck, the Murder of Crows deck, because it's my shadow work deck.
Mhm.
As soon as I pick it up, I could feel it. It's got a different vibe. It's going to be telling me
Oh,
different.
love it.
Oh
The
yes.
heart. That's
So
beautiful.
this all is based on Poe. I'm trying to find where there's a boy card, girl card, several. But I'm
Yes.
trying to find.
With
There
them
it
Oh.
is.
talking to each
Wait a
other.
second.
Like-
Wait a second. We just got read to filth by Madame Maru. She said, "You guys are just talking to each other."
Yes,
Sorry, we
we're,
did.
we're actually sharing our darkest decks with every.
Oh, well, I'm sharing with. I thought people were understanding that we were sharing our cards with them in chat.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
all right.
who else are we going to share our
That's-
cards with? You guys.
Oh, and this is the coffin.
You're
card
the
in this
reason
deck.
that we're
Look at
here.
that.
Absolutely.
I love the old-fashioned funeral carriages.
That's very
so that's the coffin.
monstrous.
So
Is that the one with him on the cover with a great big head?
don't know. I watched it as a kid, but I don't know why I watched it. Now I see it nowadays. I'm like, oh,
Is that
I
a
watched
Lenormand?
that this
Is that a
year?
Lenormand?
Yes.
Yeah.
The
Do you have a
Lunatics of
Lenormand on hand, Bobby? You
I
have the
do just the Lenormand Needman cards that I showed you.
Sure.
Are we pulling Lenormand cards?
Yeah. If anyone has a question,
Oh.
I feel like reading.
We
a few
got
cards.
red. Let's do
Well,
it.
people are talking
Yes.
about the Tarot of the Haunted
Maruta read us, so
House.
let's go for it. Let's read
Mirko-
each other.
She says it better, but it's Pier Federici.
You want to be red here?
the artist.
We have someone watching from Japan. Called
No way,
Yu
really?
Masayuki.
Hello.
Thank you for watching.
Konnichiwa.
So, can somebody please give us a question? We'll be taking questions for a few minutes.
Yes. We're gonna use Lenormand today.
I'm excited. Yeah, I used the
Or I might use some of my ear.
Maruta, you want to know the name of this deck? I got it from Etsy, and it's from a vendor. It's hard to pronounce, but
Ramon. What's the name of Chris's
Maruk.
Lenormand deck?
Chris,
Yeah.
the Healing Light
Yes.
Lenormand.
Thank you.
I
Healing
have it
Light.
right here. I have it next to
Have
me
that-
all the
I
time.
have that too. Yeah.
Both of them. I have
That's
them
the
here
one I
next
was
to me
using the other day.
on Reach.
Andrea wants to know who's single and available.
Well, I can tell you one thing, Andrea.
None.
Neither of us are.
None of us, yeah.
But you know what? I'm glad I'm not single these days because when I see what's out there, I want no part of the no. No. I'm glad I'm not a young single woman or whatever looking to go out on. No,
Tom
not
says,
impressed.
I swear Ramon is surrounded by hoarders, piles of decks
Yes.
behind the camera. No,
One of these
I
days you're
have
gonna see going.
I have some drawers here with I have them organized. Like I have my oracles on one side, my tarot, my Lenormands, and then I have a box.
They just
I
want
have
to
a
get
box.
into your source.
I know, right? And I let them. I have a box where I have like all my skeleton and skull related decks.
You'll have to, like
Am I
Nancy,
doing-
you'll have to open up like a little cafe or something and have, his decks and have books and come in and people can look at cards and have readings.
Oh no! Now
Oh,
that
would be
was
so
a
cool.
that was a low punch. Tom, he says it's all the decks that blocks his internet signals sometimes.
Right?
You really had to go there, didn't you?
Oh no! Oh.
Yeah, you had to get shady at this time of the night.
Oh, he's my hero. Oh,
He's my hero.
he's my hero. I think I love you.
Tom,
Serious
you're
though,
our only
does anybody have a question? Because you got us in question mode now. We're ready to
Can
go.
you tell me how to
Mhm.
get to Sesame Street? It's late. I'm getting wonky.
It's late for you. It's early for me.
Yeah,
It's
you don't
only
go to
And
bed
Robbie
till
said,
like what, 5?
Robbie said, let's take a peek into Ramon's drawers. Ouch.
I don't have a fan to thwarp, so
We were talking about other type of drawers.
yeah.
Oh, well, here's a good topic, you guys.
The
I got the
meaning
fish.
of the
Curious
Hierophant.
about the real meaning of the Hierophant, please. Who would like to start? Ramon?
The real meaning. I mean, because there's keywords associated with the Hierophant, but the real meaning. Could you clarify on that?
I think
I'm
maybe
just
what the
curious.
traditional, like the original meaning,
It
basically
has it's shrouded in
tradition,
different
spiritual.
history. Currently, the meaning of the card is to bind things in a social manner. It teaches tradition, you're the societal traditions that guide us and lead us. It binds community by bringing them together, say in a church or religious situation. It passes down universal knowledge that helps us get by on a daily basis. The things that we take for granted that we learn just from society. Like we all know that in Star Trek, the red shirt's going to die first. That's just an example of something everybody knows that we pass on in a societal manner.
There's a sense also of moral guidance.
Yes.
With it, tradition. Yeah. So it like the vibe I always get from the Hierophant. It's that element of being in your guardrails, following like a tradition, a path. It's like the mentor on guidance.
It's typically my least favorite card out of the whole tarot, except for when because I do have a pip deck that has just the keys on it, and it's beautiful, and I can totally relate. But when I see the Pope or the priest and people are bowing and stuff, and knowing the history of what individuals like themselves
Yeah.
have done, and also not all, but some continue to do, it's for me, it's something that kind of rubs me a bit the wrong way.
We have to
So
look past
I
that.
I know,
I mean,
but
it's I know what you're
it
saying,
is
but
what it is.
I always get a cold vibe from the Hierophant because it's like
Yeah,
the
it's
vibe I
strong
get
and heavy.
it's like it's structured. This is what you should do.
Yeah,
That there is
dogma,
an
rules,
element of
regulations. Yeah.
yeah, dogma. Yeah, there's an element of spirituality, but it's more like institutional religious spirituality. It's
But what I
not
love,
like yeah,
The
it's
other
it's
aspects of the Hierophant card, if you take into account the astrological association, it's Taurus, which deals
course, yeah,
with holding on
Earth.
to the important things like family. Um,
flexible.
the Hebrew association is, what is it, Ramon? Vav? For nail.
Mhm.
The nail binds two things together. So that's one of the aspects of the Hierophant card that I truly love. I understand what Heather's talking about. I didn't like that card forever because of the religious connotations with it.
Mhm.
I was
Well,
thrown out of my
same
church.
with the lovers. I didn't like the lovers because it evoked Adam and Eve and the story of the Bible.
Yeah, And I
Yeah.
would now with Vixen, but I like that he does write about the Hierophant in his deck. Is that the Hierophant aims to guide knowledge into a spiritual and ethical manner while
What Ramon
following
was saying.
traditional
Yep.
structure. But I find it kind of like hypocrisy a little bit, or a paradox, because again, a lot of what they have done over the millennia, not just
In the
the
name of,
Christian, but in the name of all the patriarchal religions, what they have done is much more than that. And when you see people buying, it just rubs me the wrong way. Um,
I,
but I
but
but
at
I, I
this,
see their perspective too for it. So yeah,
mhm,
just something I
you
gotta.
know,
right, whether we go
at
to church or not, that sense of community is
Mhm.
ingrained in all of us. And sometimes we absolutely have to have it, whether we're going to lunch with friends, or you're going to a coven meeting, or you're going to
Yeah,
church, or you're just getting together with your tribe. Um, that also is a message of the Hierophant.
mhm,
and I remember
yeah,
when I went to my very first pagan festival. It was an open circle. It was for Samhain. I think I was 21, 22. I felt more as community and welcomed being a stranger in that celebration than I did any of those years really that I went to church. I found felt more welcomed, more community, more accepted for who I was, than in the old churches that I went to growing up. So I
mhm,
can always relate it to it that way.
yeah. And structure is
Important.
important.
Yeah.
There's people who thrive in structure who need guardrails.
Yeah.
you know if you think about it, how are you going to be a rebel if you don't believe first in the structure? Like, you have to believe and understand the structure to be able to rebel against it. Otherwise it's doesn't make sense. What are you
Yeah.
rebelling against? you know
Yeah. Or are you rebelling just to rebel? Because then
exactly.
Yeah.
you're
you
I
know
just
mean, I don't
standing.
know if you necessarily need to believe it, but if you see and you understand but it's not true or not true for you, then I see the next step is the rebellion. But
I
yeah,
mean, when I say believe, I'm not saying you personally internalize it, but believe in the sense that you understand that it is a thing that is worth rebelling against.
thank you.
Mm,
Gotcha.
yeah.
You guys, as fun
Okay.
as this has been, it's getting late. We've been here a while. I know Ramon and you guys are on the other side of the country from me. It's early for me still. I'm going to go have a cocktail and enjoy myself. But for
You're
you guys,
just
I want
ditching
to say
us.
I am
Yeah.
ditching you like a
Like,
mofo.
I was okay 12:30, even though I was
Are you
sleeping.
good
It's
to
just
keep
like
going? If you're good to keep going, I'm
you-
good to keep going.
you're just gonna toss me aside. Like, all right, I'm just gonna have a drink. Bye.
No, but
I
I
I
worry
I, I
about you,
s-
Ramon.
No, no,
Uh,
I'm good. I'm good. I mean,
it's
no, I mean, it's if you wanna go. No, no offense. I'm good either way. Whatever you
No, I'm
guys
good to
wanna.
keep going. I'm enjoying the conversation, but I know you've been through busy times lately. You're just constantly every time I
Yeah.
turn on my YouTube, I
Uh,
see that face. I'm
if
like,
Ramon doesn't stay busy, then he gets himself into all sorts of trouble. So he's
yeah,
got to.
I thrive in being busy.
Martha, we're night owls, Bobby. Me too. I literally don't go. I'm serious. This is not a lie. Because of my medical condition, I have insomnia, so I'm up until dawn when the sun comes up. Um,
You should have your insomnia tarot show.
that's what I
Some
want
type
to
of
do, but
insomnia
it's
divination.
alone. So I'm yeah,
Well,
thinking of
Your
doing.
time zone. It's your time zone, right? You need
Yeah.
someone from the West Coast.
And then it starts with the people in Europe are just waking up at that point. So I would maybe have them too. I will put out again. Questions are open. Check this out. I made this just for us. Did I do it?
Questions are so.
woo!
Oh,
That's right.
nice,
He made a scrolling
I made
banner.
a scroll. I pushed the buttons myself and everything.
nice, nice.
Yeah, I
Maruta
just.
says I usually go to bed at 4 a.m.
Where are you at,
Usually, that's
Maruta?
the quietest here. All the
You,
idiots
you
here
guys watching?
that
Can you
sleep
tell
in.
me where you're watching from? I know we had somebody in Japan.
A fear, that's all.
SoCal. Woohoo! I'm from Torrance in Long Beach. Long Beach, badass. We got
Question: energy between me and Danielle.
I don't do
and
third parties.
Hmm.
Sorry,
yeah.
sweetheart. I can read on the
If you
energy
could
around you,
rephrase
but
the
not.
question,
Yeah.
rephrase the question for us, dear.
And in case if you don't understand what that means, this third party is we don't have permission, or at least speaking for myself, I don't have permission to tap into go into somebody else's thoughts and feelings without permission. That's an invasion of their privacy. So if you want to reword it, I can always pull cards to see your energy within the relationship, but I don't have permission to tap into theirs. That's just how I read.
Yeah.
And there are some
I
channels who
don't
don't
like to
mind
read
doing
third
it.
parties
You
either.
know, some readers in YouTube, are okay with it, but just for me personally. Hi, Lorraine.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and read for you. It's just reword it a little bit. Third party, it's like peeking in somebody else's windows. They may not
Yeah.
appreciate it.
So how can I don't know? I'll let you rephrase it. I don't want to rephrase it for you. And let's see. I absolutely.
I don't have my phone. My phone went dark again.
Let's see. That's fine anyway. Relationships.
Oh,
I
I
was
should
still
pull it
using a
open.
Lenormand. Yes.
I got my I got a couple of my tarot, so I might do a tarot when I'm in or whatever feels.
Any questions? Anyone? Any kind of questions? Tom, where are you? Where's Tom? And what's he's in New York also?
Joyzy.
Huh?
He's in Jersey. He's a
Oh,
Joyzy.
he's between us. He's between us. You're in New
Yeah.
York. He's in Jersey. I'm
Well,
in
I'm on
PA.
the other end of New York. I'm in the Falls, so that's like a
Still.
over 300-mile separation.
Mhm.
So,
Arizona.
and I used to live in Flagstaff, and Bobby and I used
Between
to be
Ramon
sort
and
of neighbors.
Amanda, Tropical is usually someone else.
See, I don't have. I just have Bobby's chat on my. I don't have Ramon's chat open.
Yeah,
So.
I don't see Ramon's.
So we have a question here, and it's from Lorraine. It says, "Can I have a reading for September and October?"
Okay, I see it. Here we go.
That's very deep. Let's do September.
Yeah, let's go one
October is
month
too
at a
far
time.
away. It's too far
Yeah,
away to capture. I mean, we can do a reading, but it's there's so many things can happen energetically by October that.
Factors. There's too many
yeah, because things are
factors.
always changing. You got what
Hmm.
energy that we pick up today can be changed 10 minutes after we give you the reading. It could go the
No,
Yes,
next day. You
that's
just
because
never know.
what we do when we do a reading, we're taking a snapshot of the current energy. It's like the universe giving you heads up of, based on the current energies, this is what most likely can happen. But it gives you that opportunity to act upon it and change the outcome.
Lorraine.
So Lorraine, let's see for September.
Lorraine. Lorraine. I have to say the question to myself repeatedly, like just to
Oh, I do
create
too.
that link when we do long distance. You guys, so if you hear me muttering to myself, pay no attention.
All right.
No, we're not skipping you,
So,
Maruta. You're absolutely next.
so Lorraine, I have some cards for you, sweetheart. So I pulled from my Gilded Reverie, my Merchetti, and the first card I got was the Storm card, and the Storm cards is usually about turbulent times.
Yes, Maru, I
Storms
apologize.
are storms are make it difficult for us to see. It's like weathering the storm. It's like a hardship. But in this reading, the card is the first one, so the sun is on the side moving forward in the rest of your reading. So as I'm looking at it, the storm clouds, the lightning. So what I and the thing too now with um the storm card, with the lightning coming down hitting the tree, I associated it with the tarot, the Tower card. that lightning comes, destruction, things need to be regrown, rebuilt, redone over, and then the sun comes out, the birds are flying free. The one on the other side of that is the storks, and the storks are all about movement. So we're moving out of that storm, that chaos that's going on. It's an evolution. It's all about improvement, and storks are like a nesting bird. It's about birth and delivery, not necessarily a actual human birth, but coming out of the storm, you're going to. I feel like it's going to be like a renewal, a rebirth for you. Next card I have is the wishing well, and the wishing well, of course, wishes coming true. Um, there's creativity involved. Now, this is an additional card. So, the wells, we can look at what do we think of when we see wells. Um, According to, the writer for this, Tally Goodwin, she says, looking deeper into some issues, like looking into the well of your soul. Wells can also represent when we drop coins for good luck or we make wishes. So, again, still another positive card. Rebirthing, looking to make wishes, dreams manifest, come true. And I asked for just one more card to end to clarify it all, and I got the anchor. And the anchor is all about being grounded, solid, foundation, security, all that hard work, everything that you went through with this storm and moving forward, you're getting anchored, you're getting grounded, um, and it's like an assurance card that things are starting to settle down, starting to settle into place. So that's what I have for you, my dear. I hope that resonated.
Me, I pulled two cards for you. Interestingly enough, one Lenormand and one True Black Tarot. We've got the Ten of Pentacles and the Lily. Now, these two cards together tell me your physical life will be going through. How do I say this? You might be meeting some passion coming into your life. Um, when I see the Ten of Pentacles, it's a card of having it all. It's a card of being comfortable, being happy, being able to pass things down to other people. The Lily card, I'm still getting used to Lenormand cards, so I'm going to read it to you. It says serenity, sexuality, ethics, virtue, moderation, and wisdom. So, on one hand, it could be the growth of your sex life, your love life, possibly, better health, going to a gym, getting the medical attention you need, preparing for a new job. And on the other hand, when you add the lily into it, it could be some nookie coming your way, girl. So
Okay. I love
good
that.
for you. Ramon, what you got?
It's interesting because I also got the lilies. That was as the first card that I got. And the lilies,
Sexuality.
sexuality is
Mhm.
one of the key words associated with it, but it symbolizes also wisdom, experience, a process. If you think about it, there is a process for the plant to develop, the flower to bloom. So it talks about, and it says here that the timing is delays and slow. So there is a process of in September. Uh, the energies around September is a process of taking your time, growing, fixing things to be able to mature for something better that's coming your way.
Enjoying
Um,
what you
se-
have.
yes. Well, second card I got too is the ship, and the ship talks about voyage. It talks about travel, change, relocation. This doesn't necessarily have to be physical travel. It could be a spiritual voyage, an emotional journey. So the energies associated in September have to do with that as well. And the third card I got, it goes beyond the 36 of Lenormand, so it falls into the Oracle part, and it says hammer. And the keywords associated with hammer is work, fixing, working on it, and building. So the combination of these three, what tells me is that September, the energies of September is going to be one of growth, of maturity, yes, of
I had
moving
a jumper. The
along,
ship came out.
of moving along towards a new destination. It could be physical. It sounds to me more emotional because I have also the hammer, which is about fixing and building things. So September's energy is about maturity, about growth, about moving into a direction for spiritual and emotional growth. That's what I got for you.
And Nikki. Um, yeah, so you said you pulled the ship, right? When my jumper
Hmm.
card was the ship. So that's
There you
kind of
go.
cool. Yeah, I like it. So,
Hmm.
Marita, what was your question exactly? Run it past us again, my love. I don't want to skip you again.
Um,
I went back.
Robin actually suggested, because she doesn't want, she says, you tell me what phrase you need me to use then, she said, because she wanted to have a question about the energy between her and someone named Daniel. Maruta, I hope I pronounced his name right for you. And she says, use, she requested that we word it ourselves for us.
Okay.
Um, I said, however you do relationship is fine with her. And Robin said, might I suggest what is the energy around Maru's relationship? And I think that's perfect,
That's a good
Robin.
one.
Hmm. Okay.
So what
Yeah.
is the energy
Uh,
around Maru's relationship?
hmm.
I'm going to
Yeah,
switch arrow
I was gonna say what's Maruta's energy around Daniel, but yeah, I like that one more.
We're
Yeah,
going
I
to
like
use
that,
the
Robin.
beach
Thank you.
arrow for you, Marita. I've always wondered, is Maruta your actual name, or is it a handle you came up with? Because it's
It's a beautiful
lovely.
name.
Maru.
It's a Maruta. It's beautiful. I think it's natural. I can't. It's beautiful. Where is?
Relationship. See, Hammer was too legit to quit. Yes, he was. Too legit to quit. Okay, I'll go ahead and start us off, you guys. For
Right.
Maruta, I've got the 7, uh, which is the wheelbarrow. This is the lover's card. And I don't know why they don't have. Hold on. I'm not liking that deck. B tarot my ass. Two of Cups, still the same vein. Okay, so the Two of Cups tells me you're just discovering something new about each other. You're about to deepen the relationship. Okay, Cups, we all know, deal with water and emotions. Um, the jumper card that fell out is the Page of Swords. That tells me you're cautious and nervous. I don't know the state of your relationship. I do know that it's changing. You're locked between two pages, a page of sword and a page of cups. The page of swords is right side up, but the page of cups is upside down. It tells me that your mind is playing games with your heart. You're focused on what if instead of what is. Don't worry about what could be. Oh, it's long distance. that will definitely play a fact.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay.
I wasn't looking at when you said that. Okay.
Yeah. Things are starting to get deeper, are they, Maru? The talk is getting a little altered. It's getting deeper. Subjects are more intense as far as spiritual growth. Um,
Simon.
I think that your spirituality and their spirituality might have a bit of, I don't want to say trouble, but you really have to work at understanding each other on a spiritual nature. You're a strong spiritual woman. I've heard you on these channels for several months now, Maru. I've watched the way you answer questions to other people. I've even asked you. I dropped another freaking card, you guys. These cards are huge. I don't know if you've seen these, the Lorenzi Tarot. They're freaking huge. He's pretty religious traditionally. That's what I was afraid of. You're very strong spiritually. I've seen you on these channels. You know your shit. Okay. I don't want you to stop being who you are to be a part of somebody else's world. All right. You're too important for that. People hear what you have to say. They see you online. I'm sure the people in your real life listen to your words. So just proceed cautiously with this. The last card I'm going to give you is the Four of Cups. It is a card of dissatisfaction. So make of that what you will, my dear, okay? So I'm going to pass you off to one of the others now. Who's next?
It's okay if I go, Ramon, and then I'll have to say goodnight.
Yeah, and I'll go after you.
And then we'll all say
Okay.
goodnight.
Yes.
Because I don't give good readings when I feel like I'm starting to fall asleep because I'm not connecting
Honestly,
properly.
that's when
Yeah.
I do my best, but
Yeah, it's almost 1 a.m. here in the East
Yeah.
Coast.
So Maruta, I end up pulling from the house. I always say it backwards. Tarot of the Haunted House. And the first card I got out is the heroine of the story. This is Raven. Raven Wadsworth, I believe. Wandsworth, excuse me. And in this card, she just inherited this castle. She's already running. She's kind of running scared. She's afraid of what lies within this house and some of the things that she's seen already. So for me, it almost feels like this is you going, okay, do I run away from this? There's this feeling of the fool being taking a risk. And I'm going to read from the book because Sasha wrote the storyline. So it says here, your journey has begun, the adventure starts, and what has started can't be stopped. So you're into this relationship, like Bobby was saying, it's deep, it's already developing, and at the bottom of the deck, I got the Two of Cups. So here is the couple card. For me, this is more of in this deck, more of the lovers card, showing two people showing a love to each other. It's a card of um, courtship. It's a card of also just being that beautiful. I'm really careful how I say when people talk about soulmates and twin flames and stuff, but there is a soul connection. To me, I feel like this is a past life connection that you two are being brought back together in this life, and maybe this might have been the same situation in a previous life where there might have been two differing opinions of or beliefs of spirituality or something that might have interfered with the relationship. I did pull a couple of Lenormand cards, and they were interesting. I did get the clear. For me, I call it the clarify. It's the what do you call the Sam getting sleepy. This is
the magnifying glass.
the magnifying glass. Thank you. And so with magnifying glasses, what are we doing? We're taking a closer look. We're closely examining. So right now, you're looking for messages. You are messaging each other long distance, but you're waiting for that message to come through of what do I do? Do I continue with this relationship? Do we move forward or what? So I'm feeling like you're wanting this answer, this message to come through, But I also did get the mountain card, and the mountain is all about obstacles, having to figure out how, and having the endurance. So this is kind of like almost to like a strength card, having the strength, the endurance, to you'll get around that mountain, but it seems like you're not going to be able to. It's like it's impassable. But that stag down there, which is known as the monarch of the forest, is like looking at you saying, are you strong enough, or are you willing to do what it takes to overcome
Oh,
this obstacle? And again, it just feels like you are waiting for that message to come through, that communication, but really closely examining this relationship, to see, you know, what is going to come next. And I'm being told to pull one more card, and I got the Queen of Pentacles. So you're grounded, you're nurturing, and I feel like he sees this in you. He finds this in you, but this is who you are too. So, and with the rabbit, this is making me feel Ostara, which is like the spring equinox. So it's possible I don't really do timing because timing always changes. It's like the energies, but perhaps this might be more after the holidays, maybe coming in the spring next year, maybe that you will start having more of your answer. I'm not sure, but I'm just feeling like this is kind of what I'm being meant. That's what I meant to say. You have the power in your hands. This is you. This is your decision. And again, the pentacles are what are pentacles? Pentacles represent all the five elements: earth, air, fire, and water.
it's
Pentacles are the security, the stability, the material wealth, abundance, not just in money wise, but in spirituality, in relationships, in love. So for me, the Pentacles represents every single court card. It's like the culmination of all of the court card, not court cards, excuse me. The Yeah, I'm getting tired, you guys. It's the culmination of the suits, excuse me. So that's what I have for you, Maruta. I'm going to end right there because it's obvious Heather's brain is shutting down.
we
But
love you, Heather. Go get some rest.
yes, but thank you for
Have a
letting
good
me read
night.
for you, Maruta. I don't get to do that
Yes.
too often. So thank you again, Bobby. And of course, Ramon. Mwah. Love you both,
Bye.
Talk to
and
you
I'll
later,
see
my dear.
Yeah,
everybody.
good
Good
night.
night.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye. All
Ramon,
right.
what's
So
me?
I pulled Maruta. I pulled for you 5 cards. And the first card is the woman, and of course, the woman in this case, it could be the querent, you, but the way I'm reading it too is saying to use your emotional intelligence, your intuition, um, to be able to guide you through this relationship. Second card I pulled is the ship, and the ship is about a voyage, could be an emotional voyage in this case, but to me it alludes to the long distance relationship that you have. It's that vehicle that connects two points that are apart. So the cards here are acknowledging you as the querent. It invites you to use your intuition. It also it's acknowledging the fact that your relationship is a long distance one. Third card I pulled is the garden, and the garden talks about networking, connection. It's more of a social card. So, but I read it too as the fact that it's blooming. You know, garden has plants. So it seems that your relationship is blooming in a positive way. But what concerns me is the fourth card, and the fourth card is birds. And birds talks about nervousness. It's the birds are always like uh, anxious, right? So there's an element of anxiety. Birds also talks about communication um, and discussion. So there's an element of communication, but I feel that there is a element of nervousness in terms of how this relationship is growing, how it's flowing. There's a lot of anxiety involved on your side more than anything, based on the fact that the first card was the woman. But the last card, which is the invitation and like the message, the overall message is the fish. So the fish is about wealth. It's about abundance, and traditionally, it's in the physical sense, but we want to see it in the emotional and the spiritual sense. So the direction that the message is going and the invitation is to search for freedom, because the fish is also about freedom. It's to navigate through water, through the emotional, to be able to get to that point in which you feel comfortable. Let this relationship flow, right? Just like the fish. Let the currents of the relationship flow and see where it takes you. But more than anything, use your instincts and your intuition to guide you in how it is developing, and if it's the right thing for you. um you know, like we said, this is a snapshot of the current energies, but a lot of things can go. A lot of things can happen. Just go with the flow and see where it takes you. More than anything, connect with your spiritual guides to be able to support you in making the right decision. At the end, you know more than anyone if this is the right thing for you. I send you blessings, and I hope whatever direction it goes, it's the best one for you. That's what I got for you.
All right. I hope that was pleasant for you all. Ramon, you are so smooth when you do your readings. I love it. She says, Maru says, thank you, Ramon. I feel much better.
Of course.
Um, your technique is flawless. I love it. All right, everybody, thank you for watching. It's been a blast. Ramon, stick around.
It
We'll chit chat
was.
backstage for a minute, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Okay.
Blessings to all. Good night.
If I could do it.